And that's when she told me her name used to be Adam.
All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see people popping out there in the side chat. And in true, proper fashion, Alan, will you please get us started off right, sir?
Absolutely.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
How you doing, man?
I'm not doing too bad. Trying to move at the speed of life and not quite working out all that well, but hey, we just keep on keeping on.
Yep, I get it. I hear you. I hear you. Daniel, what's happening with you, man? How you doing?
What's up?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Just been a long, strenuous week, and it's getting pretty cool outside. Can't complain about the weather, but some people do. So more of that later. But thanks for having me on.
It's still hot as balls, so yes, I'll still complain.
I'm sorry. All I heard was wah.
Yeah, that's what you heard. You're right. Absolutely, 100%. When shit's still sticking to you, it's still too fucking hot. Rob, what's going on, dude?
Not much. How's it going, everybody? Just getting by and made it through another week. Looking forward to this next week. Be busy with work, but with good work comes good compensation. So, looking forward to the weekend already.
Good deal, man. Good deal. Good to see you. You got a new Texican out there. I know, man. I know it's way hotter out there in fucking Texas.
Well, at least he ain't got the damn humidity, man. It is literally 102 degrees, but the real feel is 110 currently.
Yeah, it was I think it was Thursday at work. It was almost 90% humidity. It was fucking ridiculous. Talk about sweating your fucking Rastafarian fucking nays off. Oh my god, dude, it was fucking stupid. I'm tired of sweating my ass off.
Had some hot days this way too. Maybe not that bad, but maybe lower 90s, a lot of humidity. So yeah, it sucks when you don't have to do anything and just start sweating. Yeah, that's a crappy deal, but it's could be winter. So
I would
Yeah,
rather
I
winter,
just keep telling
honestly.
people here in Iowa it's better than negative 35 degrees.
You know,
yeah,
give me
I'm
give
with you
me
on that.
give me the negative 35 all day long. That's kilt weather, baby.
Fuck no. Fuck no. And when it's cold like that, everything breaks. That's when your battery dies or something stupid happens. Like, it's just the cold sucks, even pumping gas in weather like that. And then if you got to go do anything outside, work wise, depending on materials, things get all brittle. It's a pain in the ass. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but I've crawled under a few too many homes in the middle of winter to fix frozen pipes and shit. So I don't like winter.
Well, you're a cheapskate and all the rest of it, so we know that you probably don't like the cold and all the other rest of it. You got your certain little quirks. My quirk is I'd rather it be cold than fucking hot. I fucking hate the heat.
Rob, I thought your job was to crawl underneath houses and fix frozen pipes.
Yeah, but I don't like it. I mean, I do a variety of things. I'd much rather, paint your house and those type of conditions or whatever,
but not
interior.
probably
But
not in
sometimes,
heat.
that's the way it happens. You get a water loss call. It's an emergency. They got kids. Da 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 da. Da. It's one thing or another. So you got to get it done. Yep. You're never truly off.
I
So
look
there was
forward to
a
the fall and the winter.
So there was an interesting update this past week or so with the Sig 320 case. I don't know if you guys saw or not, but they actually charged and arrested another airman for negligent discharge.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know all the details of it, but I did hear another guy ended up getting charged and whatnot. So
Yeah,
obviously there's more to the story. So
yep.
um,
He was charged with involuntary manslaughter.
that's
And apparently there was more evidence that came out and showed that he pulled the trigger. And yeah,
uh, that's a shitty deal. But yeah, unfortunately, not everybody in the services are the brightest. Especially that chair force.
well, the thing of it is look, negligent discharge can happen to anybody. It's the thing of it is you got to be aware as possible what's going on when you have a firearm in your hand at all times. And
Yeah,
shit still happens. And so it's just trying to do your best you can not to have any kind of incidents. But if you're, and I'm not saying that they need to be held to a higher standard, but technically they should be at a higher standard. Being in the military and X amount of training, X, Y, Z, they should be kind of at a higher tier standard. Like you said, though, it is the chair force, so I get it. But at the same time, you know, trying to cover it up to begin with, you
yeah,
know,
that
and
goes
and,
that
and
goes against the
automatically
values.
automatically blaming the manufacturer versus actually going out and doing your research and figuring out that yeah, you actually pulled the trigger. Yeah, it's kind of shitty.
Yeah, it's a crappy situation. It always sucks when somebody somebody goes due to something stupid. But yeah, unfortunately, this is life. Unfortunately,
Yep. Um. So Bulldog quit carrying history 20. Honestly, man, if I was you, I wouldn't be worried about it. I really haven't seen any issues. It's usually someone behind the firearm causing the issues. So, Allen's got I don't know how many 320s and 320 variants and stuff, and he's never had a problem. So,
yeah, I don't know anyone. I can't say. I can say I remember those Sturpa holsters everybody was using forever. And I remember them being an issue back in the day where people were shooting themselves because you got to relieve the paddle and your fingers over the trigger. And yes, it's just a training thing, but people were doing it. There was instructors that didn't even want them on the ranges. It was a big kerbuffle or whatever the hell you call it. And now it's kind of fizzled down to nothing. And it seems like most of these incidents with the SIG, with the videos that are out there that I believe Allen threw us a link to last show or whatnot, basically kind of shows yes, all these striker fire guns are capable of doing the same thing, but the SIG does it with a little bit less movement. So maybe the combination of that SIG and that holster just isn't the best idea. It might take 0.1% probability and turn it into a 1% probability. I don't know, but yeah, something to think about. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody's remembered this and or
Oh, and
they're looking at it this way. You know what I mean? I don't know. Not saying it's a bad gun, but you mix those two together, you might have a higher risk of
right.
a
We've
slight
talked
movement in the
about
problem.
we've talked about holsters and trying to find the one that's right for you many times over the years on the show, and in videos and all the rest of it. And it may take you a while to find that right holster. Every one of us has a closet or a cupboard full of holsters because you got to find the one that's right and figure out what's going to work for you. And like I said, it may just be that one particular one causes issues. So go out and do your research and figure out what works. But yeah, Alan's got quite a few and never had a problem. He can talk to that and attest to that.
Yeah, I do. I have a quite a number of 320s. I have a bunch of different variants of them. I have built 320 from the ground up, not just buying like the complete fire control group, but buying the frame for the fire control group because that's the serialized part, and built the fire control group myself. Um, I know exactly how these things operate. It's not rocket science. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And as it comes to some of the holsters, I I do carry mine in the same make and model holsters that are being used by military folks. Um, I'm not saying that there's a problem with SIG. I said this in the last show that there's no problem with the firearm itself, but it's not just that firearm. This the issue that can happen that everybody was pointing out can happen with nearly any striker fired pistol out there. So and that's been proven already. I find it very interesting that they claim that this pistol just went off on itself, and then 2 days later they arrest another airman. You know,
Yeah,
we don't
and that's the thing
we
of it.
never know the full story until the investigation is complete. And we were
Right. That's
saying
the thing of it.
last
They jumped the gun, came out and said it was this, that, the other, without actually understanding what the situation was. They should have waited until the investigation was done.
Well, Daniel's probably got an inside guy with all this. Why isn't he saying anything?
What's up?
Mario, hi.
What's up?
What's that?
What do you mean I got an inside guy on the
Oh my
320 stuff?
goodness! And
Well,
his
it's what it's a small world, and I'd assume you probably got some old buddies from back in your days.
Man, Mario can tell you I was a fobbit.
yes, he was.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest eyebrows on YouTube, Mario Mosen. What's up, Battle Bean?
No, I'm just fucking with y'all. Hey, I love the Air Force. I love the Air Force because they got all the hot bitches there, and they give us rides to wherever we're going. So beautiful. No, first of all, I want to say hi to everybody. I kind of want to start by saying that maybe I was wrong when I called the 320 a piece of shit yesterday. I mean, last week. It is what it is. I think all of us can agree that there's flaws with this gun. But to what extent, we don't know. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. And happy to be here with you guys. And yeah, that's all I got.
And to Alan's point and yours, it can happen to any striker fire pistol. So the thing of it is you got to look at how that system works, and with it all being an internal thing, there's lots of ways that things could happen. You all know I don't really like striker fire pistols whatsoever. I carry hammer fire guns. I shoot them better. I like them better in general. Big revolver guy.
You're just an old soul, is what you are.
Did you
That's
did you
it,
go
man.
watch the video, Scotsman?
I haven't had a chance to go watch it yet. No, I've been.
I'd suggest you check it out, because I'm not trying to argue or not. I'm just saying, you should look at it because it does do a good job. So I'm glad Alan threw it up last time. But the dude actually uses like a caliber to put pressure on the trigger, and everything's all measured. The only difference, they all do it, but the only difference is with that gun, for some reason it takes less force for it to do it. That's why I think maybe that guard with that holster that's in the trigger well might be enough just to move it slightly. That's why I say, it might raise your odds up to an actual 1% versus a point of a percent. You know what I mean? So it in that video anyway, with the samples he had, it was proven that it takes less room. Does it make it like completely unsafe? No. You know what I mean? But again, if you're fucking with the trigger, you got less room to play around before that could happen. And that was proven in that video.
Yeah,
So not saying it's bad or people shouldn't carry it or whatever. You know what I mean? It's passable, but it is what it is. So
the thing of it comes down to, it's like we've talked about in the past. It comes down to having a decent holster and understanding how you're carrying that firearm, and comes down to the basics of keeping your finger off the trigger. Not being close to it, and as you're drawing, if you have one that's got a push button or anything like that, trying to pay attention to what's going on as you're drawing it. There's a lot of factors that come into play with striker fire pistols. And it's not just the 320s. Like we said, there's you can have this issue with a lot of different things out there. The striker fire system itself is technically flawed in a way in how it operates.
Yeah, striker
most of them have the little fucking stupid dingus on the trigger. Well, that dingus really doesn't do a whole lot to stop it and be a safety. Everyone calls it a safety. It's really technically not a safety.
It looks tactical.
It doesn't do a whole lot, right? It
you
looks tactical.
I got an extra dingleberry here. Yes, I am safe. Thank God. Yeah, no, I totally get you, man. And and we, if we really want to go back to when the M9 first got introduced into the military, it had a lot of issues as well. And a lot of this was not really documented because in reality, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have all the things that we have now. This is back in the 70s. I think like what, 77 or 78 is when they started rolling in a lot of these M9 pistols. And then they noticed that they had like cracks on the uppers, and started having other issues with the springs and stuff like that. But I think in reality, most weapons have had their issues. But because I think the biggest problem with this one is because it is so popular and so many people own it. It's the reason why it's kind of blown up to where it is now.
Well, and I think part of that is, back in the day when they came out with it and they had initial issues and stuff, and people were bitching and whining and complaining, and then SIG came out and made the recall. That caused a bigger issue with it in general. They opened that box, and they basically opened Pandora's box and fucking made it a huge problem, and it caused themselves a lot more issues.
Nah, man, I bet you this whole thing has been paid for, pushed, and everything by Glock. just because they're pissed off. And, so they got their little Glock club. Every town's got their members
Hey,
working on this shit.
hey,
Uh,
they're getting banned in
Hey, I tell
California,
you
man.
what, there's
They got to get some money someplace else.
I love
well,
it.
and
They're all butthurt about
they've
it,
got
and this is how they're dealing with it.
Damn Gaston Block and his fucking.
Well,
his people.
it's
You've got
interesting that you bring that up.
agencies are immediately expelling the 320 and like immediately instigating Glock as their carry guns.
That's what I was about to bring up. It's funny how he said that, but that's exactly what happened. They got rid of the 320 and everyone's going to Glocks.
Yeah, but stop and think about it. Like, do most of these some of these are very small police departments. So some of them are medium sized police departments. But do some of these guys have ballistic experts and people that are like gunsmiths and all kinds of other stuff? Probably not. So to them, this is an easy fix where it brings back confidence so that the officer does carry that with them, you know. And I think that's where it it to them they're just trying to alleviate the issue so that way, it looks like they're doing something to protect their folks. Which, we all know that police officers they already have it bad, man. Because it's like freaking it's like everybody's got a cell phone trying to record these people. In some cases, they're just doing their job, you know. So I mean, I feel for many people that are doing law enforcement. I mean, God bless them for doing what they do. I mean, every time I get stopped by them, I am fully cooperative. I never give them any hard times. But I think a lot of people take for granted, how hard these people do have it, man.
Look,
Yeah, and I
man, you
think
stop driving on the
I think
sidewalk,
they
you won't get
deserve.
stopped by them so much.
No, man.
I
See, the
know
thing
maybe
is,
it's more sobriety.
no, I got rid of the Monte Carlo, and after that, I had no problems. It was great.
Yeah, same deal with my Civic. Got rid of that, ain't had no problems.
Frankie Cletus has showed up. He's alive.
Yep,
Hey,
Cranky lives.
yeah, man. Cranky.
No, but anybody else hear how Sydney Sweeney's gonna be the new spokesperson for the SIG 320? And she's
I
gonna
thought,
do
thought
it
it
in
was for Bud
posters
Light.
along with her $10 million contract for Bud Light. So she's gonna have a Bud Light in one hand and a SIG 320 in the other.
Hey, that's
Man.
that's capitalism at its finest, right there, baby. That's all that is. That's all that is.
That screams America right there. I don't advocate for Bud Light, but that does scream America.
But here's my thing. That's pretty desperate measures that Anheuser Busch is taking, man. But to each them
Did
their
you
own, I
guys
guess.
ever really drink Bud Light? Because I
No,
always
Hell
thought it tastes
no.
like shit
I've
anyway.
never liked Bud
I
Light.
think
Nah.
Sydney
Yeah.
Sweeney just ended her career for $10 million.
I don't think so, dude. Because in reality, she's actually become more popular since that whole ad.
Yes,
And
but she jumped the shark by backing Bud Light. Bud Light jumped the shark with their whole Dylan Mulvaney thingy.
Yeah,
yeah,
they might have paid her enough to where she can tap out after this and doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, 5 million. I mean, after taxes, she'll probably go home with 4 million.
well, it depends on what state she lives in. If she lives in California, yeah, she's screwed. But yeah, it does suck.
The whole thing with the SIG thing, or they were looking at a mechanical. I've got a problem with the board up at USPSA, the competition thing. Because you look at this whole hammer down, guns going off, negligent discharge. Okay, I shoot a hammer gun, but I run it with a safety on it. But the class I'm in, I've got to take the safety off after I load it and then let the hammer down all the way onto the firing pin. And if you look, instead of just if you got a decocker, it takes it down to the pin block. But you can do the same thing with one with a safety, just let it run on the pin block. But no, they want you to go down to the firing pin, and I've had it go off on me here at the practice range and once at a competition by doing that on these hot, sweaty days you hear Scotsmen crying about. You get a little tired, you get a little sweaty, and sometimes that hammer just slips right off your fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
my one wham for the day.
that's
They
good.
haven't
Some
even
rules are
addressed it.
stupid. Some rules are just stupid. Yeah, in life. That sounds like one of them, but
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of going back to the whole negligent discharge with that airman. Um, there's I think the biggest problem that those sites have, because this happened in one of those nuclear silo places. I mean, honestly, man, I've seen videos of these guys doing patrols. That shit just looks boring as shit. It really is. It's the most boring shit. All you're looking is flat land forever and all kinds of stuff. But one thing that you definitely need to take in consideration and make sure that you're doing the right thing is with your weapon. I'll be honest with you. When we were in Iraq, I don't know. I stopped counting after the second month, but we probably did over 2,000 missions. I mean, we were doing 2 patrols a day and then doing raids at night. I mean, it was crazy. And out of that whole 18-month deployment, we only had one negligent discharge. And this happened actually at the barrel, at the discharge barrel, because they have like these barrels where they discharge.
saying
Bottom line,
clean.
yeah. But bottom line, the soldier was tired. Blah blah blah. We still got on his ass. I mean, he must have been doing push-ups and rifle drills for fucking hours before, and
He was
everybody so asleep.
probably already like foggy in his
Yeah,
head when it happened.
right, right. So I'm just wondering, are these airmen getting enough sleep? Are they getting enough? Are they getting enough proper rest? Because they kind of have them on a cycle. I think it's like a four on, 2 or 3 off, or some stuff like that. And most of these guys are kind of in that same. They're kind of like in a little hole. They're what I call like a little. They're basically rotating through the night, right? And they're like in on the base itself. I'm just wondering that sheer boredom and tiredness is the reason why this happened. And
Complacency.
yeah, complacency is a mother of
Yeah,
all fuck ups. Yep.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was probably a combination of all of that,
yep,
complacency, being tired. Like you said, man, you're out on patrol and you see nothing but flat land, this, that, the other.
yeah,
It wears you out. It'll wear you out quick.
yeah.
But it still doesn't make it okay to where he's not paying attention to what he's doing.
When you are not mentally all there, I mean, that's when that happens.
Right, but if you're
Scotsman,
not,
you and Alan both were here when I fucked up.
I know,
But
I
I
know.
had the gun completely pulled and pointed in a different direction, and I went to go. I dumped the mag. I didn't clear the chamber, and I dropped the hammer down on a live round into the creek bank. And I had no intention of making it go boom, and I felt like this big.
I think every one of us could admit that we've all had negligent discharges. It's happened. I think I've had 2, maybe 3 over the years, and we're looking at what 14 years being in this industry. So yeah, I've had like 2 or 3 in 14 years. But just like you, it's always
What
been.
hand did you count that on? Scotsman, what hand did you count those on?
I use my toes.
It's one.
I use my toes.
3.
I use my toes, fucker.
See, I guess I got to be that one guy, and I got to be that guy. That's who I am. But to this day, I haven't yet Now, will I admit that it can happen? Yes, we're all human, this and that. So
You better knock on wood, fucker.
yeah, I'm going right now. But it's it doesn't mean it can or whatever. Even
No,
when I buy new guns, I'll load it, get it right, chambered and tap it on my bumper. People are looking at me like I'm crazy and shit. I'm just, I want to make sure the safety actually works, shit like that. If I drop it, if I'm going to hand it to my family members or anything, I want to be able to trust it, even if it's
But
a brand you should be able to trust.
the
But yeah, I've taken guns from other people I've been with and checked them to see if they were clear, whatnot, and pulled the trigger into the dirt and a round did go off. But
yeah. Look, I mean, the
that's
biggest.
what I was doing at the I've never, you know, out the blue just had anything like that so
No,
far. So
the biggest thing when it comes to something like that is if you fuck
no,
up, you have a mistake, admit to it. Don't sit there and don't sit there and deny it.
yeah,
Admit your fuck up. I've been to shoots over the years where it's happened. Someone's done it and they sat there and tried to deny it and said it just went off and point blank, they missed me by a foot. Yeah, no, dude, it didn't just fucking go off. So,
yeah, yeah.
just own up to your shit. If you fuck up, you fuck up. So long as no one's hurt and nothing's going on, it's fine. Just fucking admit to it. Own up. I had one guy that was trying out a new lever action that he had just got. I'm not going to say his name, but he was trying a new lever action. He went down range, shot a bunch of rounds, and reloaded it, shot a few more, started walking back towards the rest of us, and apparently still had one in there. And his finger hit the trigger, pulled the trigger, boom, it went off, and it was probably about 10 feet away. Maybe no, it was less than that. It's probably like 5 feet. But he shit himself and was very apologetic and owned up to his shit. That's the big thing. Just own up to it, man. If you have a mistake, you made a mistake. It's fine.
Was that the one where the bullet hit right between your feet and his?
It was off to one of my I think it was off to my left side. And he was standing on the left of me. It was off to the left of me. And he was probably about 5 feet away, something like that. And I don't remember if he was having an issue with it or something like that, or what it was. For whatever reason, he turned around and just happened to pull the trigger. I don't remember exactly what it was. It's been quite a few years now, but again, he was very apologetic and understood that he fucked up. And I told him it's okay. And he's like, I almost hit you. I'm like, dude, it's fine. You fucked up, and that's all that matters. You fucked up. You didn't sit there and fucking deny it and say this, that, the other. You admitted to your mistake. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I told you.
I'd also throw in there, like, this is kind of, I know it changes the topic a little bit, but clumsy people. I think clumsy people could be issues with guns just in general. Like, if you're
absolutely.
one of them people that always lose your keys, all this type of stuff,
Hey, hey, be nice.
I'm just saying, man, like a lot of
somebody got butter really quick
in the ass, you just these people know who they are. They spend an eighth of their day looking for the same shit. I'm not saying nothing bad. I'm just stating, like, I wouldn't be shocked if people like that had more NDs just because it's in their nature. You know what I mean? They thought they checked it, but they didn't check it. Or whatever. And then you got other people that are kind of borderline OCD that got to check to make sure they lock their door twice before they can even leave. So it's different mindsets may help prevent things as well.
One of the worst ones I've seen on the range. And I always try to talk to people if it happens, and get them to understand it's a safety hazard. And I'm not not being racist when I say this, but usually it's black women, and they have these fucking huge fucking long nails on as a major safety fucking hazard if you're out there trying to shoot a gun. Major.
Taquisha out there trying to shoot her Glock. Leave her alone, man.
Yeah,
I've had to kick him off the range
recently-
before, man, 'cause they were so unsafe.
No, I get it. You know who's the other guy? I get it.
Recently I was doing some training with a couple, and the day before I told her, whatever you do, don't go put nails on. You leave your hands the way they are right now, because you'll understand once we get out there. You don't want to be having your nails. You don't want to be having nails getting in your way.
I think the other thing that I notice about new shooters is that they don't know how unsafe they really are. Like some of them don't wear eye protection or don't wear hearing protection. They get out to the yard and they just unload a fucking 15-round magazine, and then they're doing this
Sometimes
shit.
people
I'm like,
forget though,
what
like
are
with
you
that.
doing, man?
I'm guilty of
Well,
forgetting.
and one thing there, and I think Alan kind of does the same thing I do. If I'm teaching a new shooter, when I'm working with someone and teaching a new shooter, they get one round. They get one round because I want to see what they're going to do, how they're going to react when that round goes off. I don't want them to accidentally pull the trigger again, that magazine reload it, and then them have more issues. So they get one round. Typically, I do it about 3 or 4 times, depending on how comfortable they are. And then we go to 3 or 4 rounds in the magazine, and move on. You build up, you work up. I've seen a lot of new shooters have all kinds of problems because people hand them stupid shit like they hand them a fucking 44 Magnum, and they've never shot before, and you put a 44 Magnum in their hand, and they pull the trigger, and fucking shit goes back, and smacks them in the head, and stupid shit like that. Don't do that to new shooters, because you're going to turn them off from shooting. They're not going to want to do it. They're not going to want to be any part of it. If you're out there and you're working with someone, do it properly. Take your time with them, walk them through it, get the basics down with them, and have them make sure they have a good understanding of what the basic safety rules are. That's one of the biggest things. And I've been called all kinds of names because of how I teach people, but I'm not going to let you break the rules of safety. I'm just not. So, call me whatever. I don't give a shit. But, it comes to being safe. We're going to be safe and make sure everyone's walking away okay.
Yeah, well, with new people, in a sense, they're kind of trusting you too to make sure they don't get hurt. Their nightmares don't come true, in a sense. So it is good. I've done that with kids because you can tell a kid, downrange, and they'll take a shot, and they're all excited, and they turn right around and smile at you, and they're flagging the shit out of you. So
I've had that. I've had that happen.
Get your ball.
And
but
so
adults, I'll smack the gun back down range, or so I'm gonna be right there. So and if you tend to be like too stupid, I'll just stop. Like you can watch or leave. I don't know, but yeah.
So typically in that kind of situation, I'll give them punishment, and that punishment is usually push-ups or sit-ups, whichever one they hate the most. I'm gonna give them that punishment, and it's gonna install in their brain, hey, if I fuck up, this is what happens. And you start working with them, and they finally, it may take 2 or 3 times before it gets through their thick skull, but once they got it in their head, then they don't make that mistake anymore.
So whose dog was that?
Oh, that's mine. That's Bruno.
That was Battle Bean.
All right.
That's Bruno.
Yep, that's Bruno.
Bruno, he's somewhere. He's over there.
What's up, Bruno?
He's complaining because I'm not playing with him. That's why he's coming over here.
Here, at least say hi. So.
Yeah, man.
It's with. Oh, go ahead, man.
G-Webs has a a pug too, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't sure if he popped in here too or what was going on, but yeah, no, I mean, yeah. When it comes
I,
to safety, people, especially when you're taking others out, obviously you should, do what's right, set a good example with kids. I mean, I used to like walk the perimeter of things, because God forbid somebody's passed out back here, who knows, you know what I mean, whatever it may be. Do a good job, be a good ambassador. I think also safety glasses, eye pro, ear pro, because you only got two eyes, man, and you know shit popping off trees or anything blowing back with kids with 22s. I mean, shit happens. So it's just it's only common sense in my opinion. So unless you want to go take a flight over to China and get some new eyes or some shit,
Yeah,
it's safety
I
glasses are cheap, man.
yeah, I had an incident not too long ago. I was at the range, and it's like one of those long ranges. You have like like all kinds of targets, and I'm over here on my left side, and this guy is towards the middle, and then all of a sudden he wants to cross shoot me. I fucking went off on his ass, dude. Like, I went off on his ass. Either fucking range guys have to go and separate me because, like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you don't fucking cross shoot for me. Like, what is your fucking problem? Like, and apparently this guy has been going to the range and doing that shit before. So now they know me and they pretty much give me my own range. Like they give me my own little lane and I just go shoot there because it's like, dude, like I don't have a problem with showing somebody, but if you're just being grossly fucking negligent like that, like I am going to go off on your ass, and then after that I'll explain to you why I'm going off on your ass. But and yeah, that one time really pissed me off because I was like, this guy has no idea what he can do, try shooting like that.
Yeah,
the,
it's
the negligent discharges that get me just rolling though, absolutely rolling. And it's typically, nobody actually gets injured or anything, but it's the guys that are acting like they're big thugs or whatnot, and they're just waving their guns around and acting like they're
Hmm.
Billy Badass and everything else, and then it goes off and they're like pissing their pants, and they're
Yeah.
scared that mama's gonna come up and beat them down.
You guys,
That shit
you
is
remember that one?
hilarious.
Do you remember that one that was going around about? I think he was a New York City like detective or something. It's a black guy, dreads, in a classroom showing his Glock. He's like, y'all don't know how to use this, but I do because I've been trained. And and then he puts a round in the damn floor or his leg or something. You think
Yeah,
he
he
shot
shot his
himself?
foot.
Yeah, like a fucking dumbass. Like, I'm just like, God damn, like
No, and
that
it
was
was
one.
funny because he shot
Yeah,
himself, and he's like,
yeah. Like,
um, um,
y'all don't know what to do with this. Like, can't handle this. Pow! Like,
uh,
oh, like that's
you
just
know,
karma.
that
Karma.
shit is just that's just as comical as that when they're doing the whole Black Lives Matter and they got the fuck around and find out group or whatever, and you look at their weapons and they got like fucking optics backwards and all kinds of shit all fucked up on
Yeah,
it. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
Uh, yeah, some
it's
of this shit is just crazy. Like some, I don't know. It kind of seems like some people are just an accident waiting to happen. They truly
oh
are.
they
But that's
they,
in
they,
everything in life.
they absolutely are. And I'm a big proponent of trying to teach people revolver before anything else, because if you can understand the trigger pull of a revolver, you're going to have a way better understanding of something nice like a 1911 or a CZ or anything like that. You're going to understand how that system works better and be able to control it better. If you can handle the revolver, you're going to be able to handle that semi-auto in a better way.
Scotsman. Then there's just some people that should never, never, not not own a firearm, but never even touch a firearm.
Oh, there's plenty of them, plenty. Trust me, and I've kicked out plenty of people off the range that should never be on the range.
We had this one guy wanted to qualify for the church security team, and you brought up revolvers, so this just put it all fresh in my mind because he showed up with a revolver. And his first mistake is keeping his finger on the trigger. Got on him for that. Then he muzzled the guy, the instructor. He muzzled the instructor. And it's like the instructor got him on that one there, chewed him out. I'm just thinking, what's next? He's going to have an ND. He turned around right after the instructor got on him for being muzzling him. And he has the gun pointed at the berm, and he's turned his this basically like this, talking to the instructor, and what did I do? And it was like boom, it went off into the bank. It's like you're done. You should have been done on the first one.
Yeah, and I've done a lot of classes and stuff over the years, different things, different trainings, and all the rest of it. And I went to one, probably about almost 5 years ago now. And I go out to this training center, and it's a 3-day course, and I'm out there, and the very first day, no matter where I go and I'm dealing with guns, I look at people and I look at how people walk, how they move, all the different things, how they carry themselves, so I can get an understanding of potentially how they are. And right off the rip, as soon as I got there was like 3 people that stood out to me as I don't think either one of these guys have ever handled a firearm and should not be here. And as soon as we got up on the firing line doing the first test, the first drill and stuff, they had no fucking clue. They couldn't even rack the slide. They had their finger on the trigger constantly. The one guy's ammunition was too long, so he made his own, but it was way too long and wouldn't chamber properly. So he's having all kinds of problems there. You name it. There was all kinds of issues over the 3-day course with these guys on there. And for some reason, these instructors still allowed these people to be there. I would have kicked them off immediately.
Were they using Glocks?
So the one guy had a very old pistol. I don't remember what it was. It was, I'm going to say, I think it was a 32 auto. Something along those lines. It was a very old pistol. And he was just having all kinds of problems with it. I don't think he had ever cleaned it. I don't think he'd ever oiled it. It was literally just mess up after mess up after mess up with that gun. And then one of the other guys had a Glock. And then forget what the other pistol was, but it was a hammer fire pistol. And the guy just had no idea how to hold it, how to shoot or anything. If you're going to go to any kind of training, and especially if you're trying to be an instructor along those lines, make sure you actually have some kind of general fucking knowledge before you go there. You can't walk in and expect to be an instructor based off of knowing absolutely fucking nothing.
I got a theory, and I think it comes down to some of the issues that do occur with Glocks with people out at these types of places. I think some of the issues are, think about it now, because it's a big club. Everybody's trying to outdo each other. Now they're going to go to this class. They cannot not buy something red or whatever color and swap out something on their damn gun before they show up, and then they don't test it. And then the shit they bought from Wish doesn't work right, and they have problems.
You stop buying shit. You're right.
Yep, no, you're right. I remember the other gun was a Ruger. I don't remember what model, but it was a Ruger.
P93.
If you leave them alone, they usually work.
Alaskan Ballistics. What's going on, Chuck?
Not a whole lot, man. I'm going through a dead zone, but may not be able to hear me. It's been a while. Thanks for letting me on.
Absolutely, man. Good to see you. We're talking about the 320 and the recent developments with the 320, and people with negligent discharges and mistakes that folks make. That's kind of what we're talking about.
Well, the easiest thing for SIG to do, just go back to making double action guns. Like, the U.S. Like, you had the perfect U.S. service gun right there, the 226. It's a step up from the Beretta in quality as far as the way it's designed, well, as far as all the Berettas in the military being beat up pieces of crap. I mean, the M9A3 and M9A4, fantastic weapons, but like the T226, like why go to a striker fired? And it makes no sense to me, especially if you are on your thing is about safety, then you should have a double action trigger pull and not the same trigger pull every time with a safety that isn't worth a damn and where you can bump the gun and it goes off. On camera, people just bumping their car door and the gun goes off, right, in the holster. And we have the FBI report that says that they could have an uncommanded discharge. They made it happen several times. So, like, I'm just the evidence is out there, but I still think there's a good deal of human error in it. And so there's that. I kicked a guy off the range one time. He was shooting full 90 degrees gangster style. And he turned around and pointed the pistol at himself, wondering why he couldn't hit anything.
Dumbass.
Okay. All right. Hold on. He turned around and pointed at himself, wondering
Holy
why
shit.
he couldn't hit anything.
Yeah, he
Break
was. I
yourself,
think he had a
fool.
Bursa. I think he had a Bursa 380, and he's firing it at the target, 90 degrees flat, like parallel to the ground, right? And he is not hitting a full man-size B-27 target. Right? It's just terrible, right? And he literally went pow, 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 and he goes, "What's wrong with this thing?" That's that.
Oh, the only way to fix stupidity is the only way.
His dad was in the hallway watching him through the glass. Go. Yeah.
Let them.
I tell people. Sorry, I'm in a bad spot. Hold on, give me a second. I'll be home in just a second. His father was looking through the glass, wondering why I was chewing him out and kicking him out of the range. I'm like, he pointed the gun at himself. And if that bullet had kept going and traveled through the glass, it might have got you too, And it's crazy what people do.
Yeah, I've had to kick quite a few people off the ranges before, and whenever you do it, they all stand there and go, "I don't understand." What do you mean you don't fucking understand? You weren't safe. You were causing all kinds of problems. Get the fuck off the range. You're not shooting here anymore. Period. And that's with warnings. You give them warnings. I always tried to be nice, and I'll give you a warning. If I give you a second warning, that's your last warning. After that, your ass is off. You ain't staying on my range.
When I get new shooters over here,
that's too many damn warnings. We had everybody watch a safety video, and the safety video. Yeah, we had everybody watch a safety video when I worked in the range. Everybody watched a safety video, and that safety video was your warning. We could kick you off, no warning, nothing. You were gone if you made a safety mistake. Because I
could kick him off any time, but I tried to give people the benefit of the doubt and give them a chance to correct their shit and figure it out. And if they couldn't figure it out, they were gone. Daniel's kind of the same way, man. I know he's, he has people on his range quite a bit with a church security team and stuff like that, and he pays attention to what's going on. And they, regardless of who they are, it doesn't matter who they are. I don't care who you are. You're on a range. You're there with me. I'm sorry, but if you're being unsafe, I'll kick your ass off. I don't give a shit.
He's talking about the instructor I didn't kick off my range. Aren't you, Scotsman?
Fucking instructor zero.
The head of the church security team. Oh my gosh.
Well,
I
instructor zero.
appreciate you letting me on. I gotta go fix this 4-wheeler for my kid. So.
All righty.
All right, buddy. Good seeing you. Appreciate you being here.
Man.
All right.
You found a nice mushroom.
All right. See you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
All right. Go ahead, Daniel.
Oh my gosh. I had this instructor here, the head of the church security team. He was the armorer for the police department. He just turned 80. Okay. It's that guy. No matter what advice, I'm telling a new type of shooter, and starting them all off with the basics, with the grip, the stance, through the trigger pull. And no matter what I say, he is in Mr. Opposite Land. And the girl specifically wanted me to teach her. And it's like, oh man.
This dude's 80 years old.
He just turned 80. He was the armorer and the instructor for the police department. So what era does that tell you he came from? And
man, he got revolvers and shit, man.
All the revolvers and one-handed stand and all that there.
Well,
tell him to lock your elbows. No, don't lock your elbows.
Yeah.
TJ Hooker.
Son, this is how you load a cap and ball pistol.
Why is he I'm just curious why is he like the lead of the security team? I mean, no disrespect.
NRA instructor. But he was the instructor for like 3 police departments, and he was the armorer for them.
Right.
Dude, he's
so he
fucking
might have
80
the
years
most
old.
qualifications, but how capable? You know what I mean? Like
he can shoot. He can shoot. But he was brought up on a totally different realm of firearms and shooting.
Yeah. But the dude's 80. Like everything doesn't require a gun. So what happens if you got to get handsy with a 30-year-old that's pissed off looking for his wife and she's staying with the mother?
Biden's first term
I don't fucking know what. You know what I mean? Like,
he is capable. Physically, yeah, he's 80.
80 years old. You trick both the hip, you're fucking done, man.
He also teaches hand-to-hand combat.
Wow. You sure he ain't a robot or something?
With the Kupaton.
Damn, is he like fucking like Mike Hart's fucking dad?
Yeah, now is this is like that? Oh shit!
It's just that his firearms instructing type is way outdated.
Is it like a Steven Seagal hand to hand?
How many in this chat have actually killed people? None of us. Okay, Mario, you killed a cow.
That's not true.
I know. Mario killed a cow.
Hey, now. Alan almost killed a freaking camel.
Yeah, man, I was lethal at fucking 1,750 meters. It's insane. With an M1 tank.
But I mean, yeah, the guy in his day, he was right up there. It's just that his firearms instruct, how to handle and all that is just so dated.
Well,
it's
and you see this. This is one. So there's a lot of problems that we have in the industry as far as training goes. One of them is you have people that recertify every year, 2 years, whatever it may be, with a certain entity, say the NRA, whatever. Well, the NRA, to recertify, you basically just pay them money and they give you your recertification. So places like that are not actually putting you on a range and making sure you still have good skills and understanding. And that's an issue. And places like the police force, security teams, and all these different ones, they have certain standards, but the thing of it is they're not very high. So I've seen the police qualification shoots and stuff like that, and they're fucking horrible. They're absolutely fucking horrible.
Well, even the fitness test isn't all that. Like state police is supposedly the hardest, and that's not even really anything. But yeah, I think it falls back to like dude's 80. Like, yeah, I can understand letting him ride it out, but I don't know why he's front man in any of it. He should be the dude that's in the back riding out his time, not up there, throwing down with people. My opinion. Even if he is qualified, he may have the paperwork, but that's just
I need to clarify
kind of
something for
security
chessboard.
for it's just not the best matchup. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but
I need to
stamina.
clarify.
Middle.
Hey, Rob, hold up. I need to
All right.
clarify something for chessboard. I've never killed anyone, and I wasn't bragging about it. But the statement that I was trying to get across at this, during his duties as a police officer, he has had to fire his weapon, and not only has he taken people out, but he's also wounded them besides killing them. So back in his day, his training was up to date. Nowadays,
that's that was his day. Now he shouldn't be doing that. I don't know. It's like anywhere. I've seen roof crews where you got a 70-year-old guy sitting on a roof just pointing at things. He ain't carrying shingles. He ain't shingling shit. He just sits there and points at things because that's his job. He's been there forever.
Well, and
you know what I mean? Like that's the type. There's at that age, you shouldn't have to be doing all the dirty work in a sense because recovery is different.
One of the huge issues that I see and that I've seen over the years is these places will take anybody because they're paying money, and that's not how it should be. They should be doing a basic, hey, what experience do you have, blah blah blah, before they even hit the range, and they don't do that. They don't sit there and ask people questions before hit the range. They just go straight to the range and go straight to live fire. That's not good. If you don't have an understanding of what that person knows or doesn't know, and you're walking straight on a live fire range, you're putting yourself in a very bad position.
I think we're all over hitting different points, but I think they're all relevant though. I'll get back on my harp. But if it's your job to care for others, then you need to be the best capable you can. You got to be better than the average guy. I'm not saying this 80-year-old guy isn't, but you got to be practical at some point. Somebody highly trained at a younger age, maybe doesn't have all the paperwork or experiences, can probably deal with more issues like, say, a bouncer and still be fine the next day for work without having your back thrown out or any of this bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, something hostile, somebody running up the damn steps with a firearm. Yeah, your age don't make much of a difference. But, when it comes to anything else, it's a lot nicer. I don't know. You want the best you can provide. You know what I mean? And maybe that is an 80-year-old man, but that's puts limitations on actual safety. Like if you're looking at a plan or something, you know what I mean? There's issues of that. How quick can he run? There's a lot, There's a reason we don't have 80-year-old special forces or any, shit like this. Not that saying there isn't a few 80-year-olds that couldn't compete, but at a certain point, it's just not. You got to pass the torch.
Right, and one thing that I do with students when I'm teaching people, and I know other people do it too. Allen's real good at it as well. Is I don't know your weapon, but I can take your weapon and still shoot your weapon and have no problem shooting it. Now, if it's a Glock, that's a whole different issue. I can't shoot Glocks for shit. I can pretty much take any other weapon and shoot it and be okay with it. If it's a Glock, there's no way. Glocks just fucking suck. But it's good. The point of that is so when you're teaching someone and you're working with them and they sit there and they don't understand why they're not hitting where they want to hit, and you're trying to explain to them, finger placement and grip and this, that, the other, and all the rest of it, and they've got X amount of rounds down range and you still can't figure it out, then you go ahead and you say, hey, let me take a shot. Let me just make sure nothing's going on with the gun itself. Let me take a shot, right? And you take the firearm and you take a shot and boom, you hit the target. And they stop and they look and they go, huh. Now they're trying to really figure out in their head, why am I not hitting the target? I don't know your weapon. I just know the basics of how to shoot, and I can take pretty much any weapon and shoot it and be okay with it, minus a Glock. Yeah. And I know
what I've run into is
Allen's the same way.
Two things. When people aren't hitting what they were shooting at, is one, they're just slapping the trigger really hard, or they're nosediving because they want to see where they hit, and they're pulling the trigger as they point the gun down.
Yep, that's two of the big ones for sure. The other one is shooting over the sights. So instead of actually looking down the sights, they're looking over the sights. Mm-hmm. And that's a very common one. The other common one is
that's a variant as well. I've got, said earlier, I've got a number of P320s. A couple of my P320s, the hold on them is a lollipop hold. On the other ones, it's straight down the sights. And I happen to know that about each individual particular firearm on which one holds where. And so, yeah, anybody can shoot it. If they're going to be all that accurate with it, well, maybe they're accustomed to a lollipop hold. Maybe they're accustomed to looking down straight sights, and it's just kind of a roll of a dice on if they figure out this particular gun, that's where it likes to be held.
Right. Kentucky winded, where you can take a shot, see where you go, and try to adjust to something that's not yours or zero to you. That's kind of what really freaking sucks about those games at the fair, where they give you like 100 rounds and you get to shoot out the star. Because once you figure out, like, you take a shot or two, and it's hard to just pull off one round, and try to get it right, because the sights are all jacked, every freaking gun. But the guy's sitting there like, it's easy. It's because he shoots that gun all the goddamn time. He knows where to aim. So, basically, they don't put enough rounds in there for you to figure it out and take the star out completely. At least I haven't had a lot of luck, and it pisses me off. But basically, Kentucky windage, take a shot or two, see where you're at, counter for it. But take a cold shot with somebody else's gun, that's especially something long range. That's going to be a lot harder to hit.
I've only seen a few folks over the years that are able to take any pistol, pretty much, put it in their hand and be able to shoot it well. Allen is one of those. Allen can pretty much pick up anything, put it down range, and it's going to hit. He is very, very impressive when it comes to shooting. He's got a lot of time on the range and a lot of time dealing with that, and a lot of time with.
It's because he's a shit show operator. That's why.
Hey man, he is. He's top notch, dude. He's got a lot of skill when it comes to shooting. He really does. I've seen very few people that
Although,
pick up on
although
anything.
in our last range trip together, Scotsman was like, "Hey, you mind me pointing something out to you?" And I'm all ears, man. And exactly what he was seeing was exactly what I needed to do. And I wasn't seeing it at first. But exactly what he was watching me do was exactly what I needed to change.
Yeah.
So
You know,
so
Yeah,
what
and
Alan's talking about is Alan was out and he was shooting and he wasn't hitting where he wanted to hit. And the one thing that I saw was he was gripping too tight. And you could tell by the color of his hands, his knuckles, and his arms were completely locked up. And if you're gripping like that, you're always going to have a problem. You got to be relaxed. You got to
yeah,
take a step back.
and that took years for me to master, man. Even to this day, I still have that problem. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Exactly what you're talking about.
Death
It,
grip.
it happens. I've done it too. I've done it too. You go out there and you shoot something you're not used to shooting. I've done it. I get it. But it's being able to spot it and take a step back and try and figure out how to fix it.
I think the one time I did the death grip pretty bad is when I and I shot a Smith and Wesson 500. I was like, that motherfucker scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh,
Yeah, right.
I'm good. Here
Just
you go.
going and flipping around. Yeah.
Yeah, here's your gun. Let me make sure it's clear. All right, here you go.
But see, like Alan didn't take it in a bad way. I just and I point something out to you, and he took the criticism and went forward, and it fixed the issue. It's
Yeah,
And
but
this
when
that's
right
when
also
here can be your best friend when you're trying to show somebody what they're doing.
oh,
You just
absolutely.
film them
absolutely
right there. Film the gun down to
right.
their all the way from the point of the gun down to their elbows from both sides,
Mm-hmm.
and they will see it and go, "Oh, okay." And that way you can show
Yeah,
them exactly how to do
and
it.
and believe me, if you criticize or critique me, I'm not gonna take it personal. I like the fact that you are critiquing me because at least you care. You know, the worst thing you can do is just see your friend not doing anything right, and you know he's doing something wrong, but you're not able to correct them on there. I mean,
Right.
honestly, I know, especially me because I'm already left-handed, so I'm already fucked up as it is. So everybody's like, "Oh, yeah,
That's the
fucking
truth.
southpaw."
That's the fucking truth.
Yeah, everybody's like, "You're all fucked up." I know, but I mean, it's there.
Lefties just ain't right, people.
Yeah,
Lefties
we
just
ain't
ain't right.
right. Yeah, we ain't right. But somehow we make it work.
No, that's good, man. It's good when people can take criticism. I take criticism too. You see something I'm doing, tell me tell me what I'm doing wrong or what you think I'm doing wrong. I'm fine with it. I would rather you tell me than not tell me. Whether I take
yeah,
the advice
exactly.
or
Because I mean, you can take extremely experienced shooters, and in that moment, they could be doing something that ain't right, and racking their own brain as to why this isn't going the way they're expecting it to go. And in that particular instance, that's exactly what the case was. Is I'm just like, yeah, I'm getting a little frustrated because I'm like, I'm right on it. Why the hell am I not hitting this thing? Um, and he saw exactly what I was doing, and keep your ears open. Don't be non-responsive if somebody's
Yeah, but I think
gonna
that
tell
also
you something.
comes with maturity, brother. And that's the older you become, the more. I mean, some people are more mature and able to accept criticism.
right.
And to be honest,
18-year-old me wouldn't listen to me now.
yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah, but with that, I think you're probably right on that aspect. I mean, that goes back to like guys asking for directions and shit. You know, believe it or not, I would be that dude. I'd roll up, ask somebody for directions, just because it was faster. But you know, a lot of times people, they don't like, I don't know, looking bad, having to be corrected, whatever it may be, and that's definitely an issue.
Well, it's an ego thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone,
kind of.
everyone,
Yeah.
everyone has friends or whatever it may be, and this, that, the other. And the last thing you want to see is shooting well, or whatever it is, and performing, and someone having to come up to you and say, "Hey, you're doing this wrong," or "This is
Mhm.
going on," something along those lines, And
Yeah,
I think whether it's firearms, whether it's your business, whether it's anything, something new, I've always found if you like approach people in a decent way and just be honest, straight out ask questions, you'll get like hooked up right from the beginning. Lots of people are always happy to help if you don't seem
yeah,
like a douchebag. It doesn't really matter what it is, it,
yeah,
as long as you approach it right, people are happy to help you out and to share their hobby, what not to do, or to give you tips on shit.
yeah.
But you gotta come in with an open mind. You don't come in like a jackass.
Like
Right.
don't cast on a glass fucking table. That's good
Well,
advice.
it's just like you're talking.
Yeah.
You're talking about business. So, for example, for those of you that don't know, I've done contract work over the years. I'm a painter and decorator. Part of the trades that I learned when I was young. Um, I've worked for other people doing that, and anytime I go and work for someone else, before I even start the job, I want to know how they want the job performed. I'm not going to walk in and just do it my way. I want to know how they want it done because it's their business. I'm working for them. So I want to see how they want it done, what they want, so on and so forth. I'm not going to walk in and just do it my way, walk out and hope I get paid. I want to make sure I'm doing it to their standard and so on and so forth. You have to have respect for what's going on. And especially like in the firearms world, you have to have respect on the range. I've been to so many shoots over the years with all kinds of YouTubers, and most of you guys that have been to shoots with me will see the very first day. The first thing I do is I stand around and I literally watch everybody. I will stand there and I will watch and I will see how you act with your firearms, how safe you are, how unsafe you are, whatever it may be. I'm going to sit and watch, and if I see something, I'm going to say something. And, it's not to be a prick about it. It's because I want all of us to be safe and have fun on the range and all the rest of it. So, this past time we went to Dead Zero. We had another new shooter with us. We had Bama Dad with us. And I'm not calling you out, man. I'm just, just an example. Very first day I'm out there and I'm watching because I want to see how he interacts and how he shoots with other people and what he does. And he was fine. He had no issues, no problems whatsoever. But that's what I do. I sit there and I watch. I want to see how people interact with each other, how you're walking, how you're performing from one spot to the other spot, taking your firearm from here to there, all of it. And it's just something that I do. It doesn't matter where I go, what range I'm on. I watch everybody. You have to be aware of your surroundings, especially like an indoor range. Indoor ranges are horrible. I fucking hate indoor ranges. But if I walk in an indoor range, first thing I'm doing is I'm watching everyone that's in that range already. I want to see how they actually operate, what's going on. And, it's just a key thing to make sure you walk away safely. Make sure you're walking away with your life intact.
All right, guys, this is
What the heck?
Some people don't. I've had people get kind of mad at me over the years here and there, but honestly, it doesn't bother me one bit because, again, it comes down to making sure we're all safe and we're all working together and doing things the right way. So, You can get pissed off at me if you want, but I'll tell you, every time I've been to Dead Zero loves having me there because they know they don't have to have a range officer out there. They got me out there. And I'm not tooting my own horn. They just know that I'm watching and paying attention.
Hey, as long as you don't come at me like, let me tell you something. Just to say we put some kerosene on your shirt.
Oh,
Brown
those
targets
guys that
matter.
do that crap,
Brown
I
targets
want
matter.
punch
Brown targets matter.
Brown target.
Mario. Those guys that come there. I mean, but then there's some guys that really don't know what they're doing. And okay, you've got an agenda on how you're shooting, and you're wanting to see what loads are right. So you're just doing one bullet at a time. And then they come up there. Let me tell you what you're doing wrong. And you're already shooting a half mil group at 300 yards, but you're doing something wrong. It's like you don't even know what I'm doing.
And going
Well, you
back to
could
what
be shooting
Outcast
a
says,
quarter mil. What the hell?
yeah, it goes back to what Outcast says. It's just how you approach people. You gotta understand, we're all adults here, but
That's
to a
true.
certain
Yeah.
point, you have to know how to approach
That's
people. They
that
have
that
a
is
fucking loaded weapon next to you, and
that
you're over
that
here
that is.
critiquing the
I,
shit
I
out of
was
them.
I was just about to say that's one of the biggest things. You're on a live fire range, people. When you walk up to someone to talk to someone and explain either what they're doing wrong or coach them, hey, please don't do this or whatever, you have to do it in a very calm manner, and you have to make sure you're paying attention to everything that's going on when you're up there and you're talking to this person. You need to make sure that gun's down on the table, the whole 9 yards.
And
It's
not interrupt them when they're mid trigger pull.
right. Don't walk up to me if my eye's on the scope and I'm getting ready to pull the trigger. Don't walk up to me and tap me on the shoulder. Don't do that. Wait. Unless I'm doing something completely fucking stupid, don't come up to me and touch me on the shoulder. Don't fucking do anything.
And
Oh,
and
bullshit. You're supposed to take that shot. You're supposed to be able to get water dumped on you. People slap you in the back. Somebody come up, kick you, lean on you. Don't be a pussy.
I was shooting a 300 blackout with a red dot at 300 yards. And, I'm shooting way sub 1 MOA on that 300 yards. And it's like, seriously, dude? I'm just bench rest shooting right now.
Yeah, unless you're doing something majorly wrong, don't walk up to someone like that.
Right.
And again, when that situation occurs where you need to go talk to someone, you have to intervene. Take your time.
What
Be
if that
calm.
dude was an Olympic shooter and he was really trying to give Daniel help? Like, damn, you're like 95% there. This little
that
bit might
was it.
push,
This
you
guy
know what I
was an
mean?
Olympic shooter.
Those pussies shoot 22 LRs. I don't want to hear that shit.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
I love it. I love
It could have
it.
been the best
You're
three
already
votes you ever got.
And I'm already pissed off because there's like 10 or 12 of us there and they only gave us 3 bays. And the first guy's up there shooting, I had about 3 guys up there shooting, and they're up there shooting and don't get off the bench for a couple hours, and we're just back there. Yeah, so what you doing there, Scotsman? I don't know. I'm just watching these guys. Then you finally get up there and you get to shoot, and now they're those guys that just had all the time on the bench, and now it's like, okay, now I can relax and I can do what I want to do here, testing out some loads, and come up there and interrupt him. It's just like, dude, I already wanted to punch you in the mouth an hour ago. Yeah, I was bad.
Anytime you're on a live fire range, you just got to be respectful of the people that are there. Have respect for the fact that people are fucking armed, because most of us, are carrying on our hip while we're there. So respect for being on the range with someone that's armed, and just pay attention to what you're doing. Pay attention to what's going on around you. We talk about watching your surroundings all the time, And when you're on a live fire range, that is huge, absolutely huge. I've said it many times before where, again, going to dead zero and stuff, the guys like me out there because I pay attention to what's going on. I don't always do a ton of shooting because I'm busy watching what's going on. And I would rather I'd rather do that than be up there blasting a ton of rounds, because that way I know we're all walking away safely and everyone's good. And some people think that's kind of crazy. I'm driving halfway across the country, whatever, to basically stand around and watch other people shoot. But I would rather make sure I'm walking away safely and being all right. Bama Dad, no, I did. I shot some pistol. I did shoot pistol on that day. I didn't shoot rifle because of my back. So for folks that haven't been to Dead Zero usually has metal seats, or you can sit, or the benches themselves are concrete. And I didn't want to sit down on those and hurt my back, cause more problems, because they're really low down. If they would allow me to take my own bench and have it higher up, it probably wouldn't be an issue. But as low as those benches are, it would have really affected my back. So I didn't shoot the rifle, but I did shoot on the pistol day. I spent probably the first hour or so just kind of watching what was going on. And then once I knew everyone was good and comfortable and all the rest of it, I started going out and shooting too. So I didn't shoot a ton though. I probably put 300-400 rounds down range, maybe something like that.
Now I feel bad for letting everybody I know I lost my cool on the rifle range. You can come up and talk to me at any time and stop me shooting pistol, and I'll stop and I'll listen, I'll pay attention. But when I'm shooting the long gun, it's just it's in the Zen state, and you shooting between heartbeats, all that. I've been shooting a long gun for a long time, and I'm not. I'll admit I'm not the best.
It's
but
therapeutic, isn't it?
yes, it's very therapeutic when you just be there with the gun, and you aim at, like when you aim at an eyeball, but you're aiming at the iris of the eyeball, and if you get outside of that, you count it as a miss.
I've said it before that Daniel taught me how to shoot rifle. I never really shot rifle. I was always a pistol revolver guy. And Daniel wanted some help with pistol. I helped him with pistol, and he helped me with rifle. I never really shot rifles. I mounted thousands upon thousands upon thousands of scopes, but I was never really a rifle guy.
And for me, it wasn't until like in 2000 when the military started really getting big on having optics on rifles for infantrymen, because before we didn't have none of that shit. And then they gave us what they call the fucking the ACOG, and I was like, oh shit, this is the shit. Like, I fucking loved it, man. But and then they gave us red dots, 8 points and shit. I was like, oh my god, this is the shit. This is like a game breaker for us, man. But and I kind of became kind of like lazy. I ain't gonna lie. I still like iron sights because it's a fucking art. It really is. You really have to know how to pay attention to what the fuck you're doing, your breathing control, your heartbeats. I mean, eh, but I really enjoy shooting fucking rifle. It's therapeutic for me. I relax. I take my time. Once I know I'm down and I got where I'm going, it just everything falls into place. It's kind of hard to explain it, but it's like my Navy friend said, it's therapeutic. It really does help, and it
No,
it really improves.
when you have something you love to do, it is absolutely therapeutic. It's the things that make you happy. When I was out in Iowa, I grabbed Allen's Colt Anaconda and 310 grain freaking bullets, dude. And I went up there and we're shooting that thing, and you should have seen the smile on my face, motherfucker. Dude, I was loving that shit. I can shoot that all day long. But I know how much that ammo costs, so I only shot half the box.
Well, that's good, you know, because what type of rounds that thing use?
It was a 310 grain. I forget what it was exactly. It was
44 Magnum, isn't it?
Yeah, it was 44, 310 grain.
44 Magnum. Man, that's shit.
Dude, I love that shit, man. I can shoot that all fucking day long, man. I love it.
Like the 44 mag, I'm telling you, the 500 scared the shit out of me. I shot like 3 rounds. I was like, all right, I'm done. Fuck this shit. I ain't fucking with this thing.
I love that, man. I'm big bore all the way. I love it. I'm what they call a recoil junkie. I love it.
The guy wearing the skirt.
But you know what? I do love shooting the 308. I don't know what it is about that fucking round. It does it to me. And now I became a sucker of 300 blackout. I mean, that's a scary fucking round, dude. It really is. Becomes a very scary round, especially when you start doing different lows, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh shit, I got it!"
I'll tell you, one of my favorite instances shooting rifle would be the first time we went to Dead Zero, and I took the C-Max rifle with me, and I walked it out 600 yards, and you know, I wasn't doing any adjustments. I was just walking it out, using the dope on the scope and working my way down and all the rest of it. And dude, that was fucking pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I got that bitch 600 fucking yards dead to the fucking accurate.
By the way, Bama Dad's talking about that CMP range in Talladega. That actually has like a it's kind of like the same thing. It's kind of like a known distance type of range, right? Kind of like the Marine Corps does it. And it's really cool because you have a screen and it's right there. You can see exactly where you're hitting at, like where you're missing up and stuff like that. But I've also heard that range does get pretty wicked with wind. I believe there's also a CMP range in Ohio, if I recall.
Yeah. Isn't that where Camp Perry?
Oh, that's right, Camp Perry. Yeah, I've been to that place one time. That's
That
cold.
off
I didn't like being in that place. I'm tropical people's man. I don't like being cold.
It's too hot. It's too cold. That's all I hear around out of you guys.
No, dude. No, you guys. I'm brown, bro. Like brown people don't like cold for shit.
Excuse me.
Look,
I agree with that.
You, Mario.
I agree.
Dude,
See, all you Scandinavian fuckers, all you guys like icicle fucking kind of.
Dude,
weather.
I'm fucking Scottish. It's got to be cold, man. Give me the fucking cold. I hate this hot shit.
I mean, look where Scotland's
That's
at.
that white boy stuff. The cold, you know, you'll see guys around here walking around in the dead of winter wearing fucking shorts and a regular t-shirt and shit.
Yeah, dude.
G23 is one of them.
It's fucking kilt weather. It's built-in AC, motherfucker.
Nah, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's built-in AC. Your balls will thank you. Your balls will thank you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, I got a serious question though. I came upon a situation the other day when traveling to go renew my permit in PA. So this is like a bro code question. So tell me, was it violated or not? All right. Here's a situation. Yeah, of course.
Wait, hold on. Wait. You were violated?
It was the bro code violated or not? I'll give you the situation. Obviously,
you held your woman's purse.
No. You know, slamming coffees, driving, gotta piss. Roll up to the rest stop, right?
All right. Let him get his question out.
Right. There's 3 urinals. The one all the way to the left is like the kids' urinal that's down damn near on the floor, you know. I come in, there's a guy finishing up all the way on the right. So He leaves as I come in, so I basically take his spot. Now another dude comes in. Well, I'm like halfway through, right? And he comes up to the middle urinal. Like, that's breaking code, right? Like, it doesn't matter that the other one's a kid one. Like, be honest, we piss in those all the time. It's not a big
I
deal.
think
It's
I
the only
think
one
I
open.
think. Well, first of all, I'm short, so I'm always in the kid urinal, so it's all good. So
Hey, that's a
yeah,
kid's
believe me,
urinal?
I don't like those big
Was the
tall ones
guy
because
was
I'm
the
like
guy
I'm
I
wearing
like
thought that was
shorts?
the well-equipped
I'm
urinal.
tippy toeing on
Well,
that shit.
either way you
Right?
want to look
Yeah.
at it, but right, we've all used that urinal, right? Like when you go in and there's 3 spots and somebody's on one side, you go to the other, right? Like,
Yeah,
you
of
go to
course.
the
You
other
want to give
side.
each other space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Like,
that is the
Oh, so
standard
homie wasn't
protocol.
right
But
next
the
to you.
question that I
You know,
have,
so
hey,
the
he
fucker
probably
broke
got a
code
thing.
on me.
Yeah, he probably got a thing for black schlong, is what it is, and you don't
Yeah,
know
god damn it. God damn it.
It's only
well,
a
the question that
violation
I have
if he
is
looks over and looks down and goes, "Huh, it is kind of cold out
Yeah,
there,
he
isn't it?"
might have been side eyeing, but he didn't like look. I would have fucking said something if he looked, but he might have been side eyeing, and he was tall.
Oh, look at the little birdie!
but what
Look,
the question
look,
Yeah,
that I
bro.
have though, Rob, the question that I have was the
He
guy
said, "Did he
wearing
touch you?"
shorts?
The
no,
thing of it is
no
no,
touching, nothing like that. It's just, it's weird, right?
Yeah, it's
Like,
no,
weird. Yeah, I know.
hold on.
okay, all right. The
Here's
dude broke code. All right, I'm
He,
just
he
hold
making
broke
on.
code.
sure.
I'm always
No,
I'm,
no,
I'm
no.
always in the kid urinal. All good.
Hold on. Here's the bigger question. Why are you talking about this?
Exactly. You just
Did,
open
did,
yourself
Yeah,
up
man.
for a
Well,
lot
Yeah.
of
because
hold on,
I
no, no,
don't
whoa,
know,
whoa,
I'm
whoa, whoa,
just,
hang on,
dude,
hang on.
like,
Did you like it? Because apparently you're talking about it, so you
no,
must have liked it.
no, no. I'm just confirming
No, no,
bro
no,
code. Is my
no,
Wait, no,
understanding
no,
no.
no, no,
correct,
no,
I,
no, no,
I
or
think
no,
is
he
it
just
man,
because it
admitted
was
he
a
no,
found
small
out.
man,
urinal? It makes it
He said he
okay.
no,
made
I
me
mean,
feel
you
funny.
know,
no,
I
Rob
don't
man.
think
found
it.
out he has
Bring
a
that up.
shy bladder. He couldn't pee as when someone was too close.
You only brought it up because you liked it. You liked the
No,
Yeah,
attention.
no.
man.
I
You
just
liked
want
the
to
attention. You
verify
were
Yeah,
code.
getting.
I think he wanted to confirm if Black Schlong is bigger than everybody else, is what it was, dude.
Oh man. Okay, anybody that's
It
been in the service
boils down
in the
to if the guy was wearing shorts or not. Because if he was wearing shorts, then he had to go to the tall urinal so he didn't splash it onto his shins.
I don't know. I wasn't looking that way, dude. I don't know. I'm just making sure
Well,
he's not looking my
hold
way.
on.
Hey, here's my
Hold,
thing. Just so you
what?
know, I'm always gonna take the kid urinal, so you ain't got to worry about me.
Okay.
Well,
Hey
apparently,
Mario.
the
You
thing
Cool,
of it
man.
okay,
is,
you were
hold
in
on.
we had
We
to
can
have
carpool.
urinalysis. So it was usually like E6 got stuck with Operation Golden Flow when people would have to pee in the bottle. And
Operation Golden Flow.
yes, the only entertainment value that I ever got out of it is when somebody made the mistake of saying they had a shy bladder and they couldn't go if they weren't able to concentrate. I
Dude,
would lock
it's different. Like, if you're
them up
getting lined
every
up
time.
for a piss test or something like that. I mean, it's not that I enjoy it or
Outcast.
showers, but it's different. In a public urinal, you're
Yeah.
expecting dude to stay the fuck away from you. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah, but you know what?
here's the thing
I
of
don't
this
know if
though.
you're like old school army like me, but old school army, we didn't have no walls when we had shitters next to each other.
Yeah.
We
No,
basically had
no.
a
Showers with
conversation
like
just
6 showers
shitting.
sometimes, or you get
Oh
like
yeah.
3 bags, rubber floor, freaking.
Oh yeah.
Everyone,
Like,
everyone,
Everything is out there. And
No
here's
everyone is
some
privacy.
missing
Steve
the.
Shive telling me he's got a shy
it's
bladder.
worse than jail, I
I
assume.
stand
I don't
behind
know.
him and I start singing that Alice's Restaurant. And then I get other two guys to go in and get the 3-part harmony going. We had that guy locked up for 4 hours. He was in serious pain.
Okay,
Yeah,
look,
now public
y'all are.
restroom code, you go to the opposite stall. You keep distance, or
Okay,
No, you
hold
got to
on.
actually watch them piss into the bottle.
Hold on. So y'all are missing the big picture here. The big picture is that Rob said he saw the guy side eyeing him, but he said he wasn't looking. Well, how did you know he was side-eyeing you if you weren't looking, buddy?
Dude, I got peripheral, and the guy said he might have been side-eyeing.
Oh,
He
you
might have been.
side-eyed him while he
Uh-huh.
was
If
side-eyeing
he
you.
was side-eyeing, you know, if I thought he was actually no doubt staring at me, it would have been a fucking problem because I've heard
Uh-huh.
stories about this
Just know
restroom
these
shit.
kind of questions is not good for this
I
group, bro.
don't know what you call
Supposedly,
it. I
there's like
call
some
bullshit.
restroom code shit, and cops are busting people doing fucked up shit in the middle of the night at restrooms. So, you know, there's some
Oh, truck stops, yeah.
something out there. I don't know, but I ain't got no part in none of that shit. I'm just trying to deposit, you know, my coffee that I should get a refund for, and get the hell out of here. You know, but
Yeah,
I'm just
I'm
saying. I just
sorry.
want to verify that code that I'm correct. The dude was breaking code there. Something was wrong with that fucking guy.
Well, you were breaking code because you were looking over at him.
Well,
Yeah,
he
I
was
wasn't looking at
over
anybody.
you.
You were looking.
No, no,
Oh
bro,
no,
no.
You
No, I've
saw
seen enough. I've
you
seen enough
saw he
dick
was
to last
side
me a
eyeing you.
lifetime. Okay.
If you could see he was side eyeing you, you were looking. I don't want to hear it. You broke.
Yeah, bro.
Nah.
It's
You
the
broke
wrong
the
fucking
fucking
group
bro
to ask
code.
that question.
You broke the bro code there, bro.
Dude. You got to understand, in the service, when we got all these open bay and everything like that, the funniest thing you can do is just go, oh, look at all the little birdies.
Yeah, that must have been a Navy thing because we didn't do that shit in the Army.
Nah.
I've heard that when standing at a trough.
When you got to go, you just go, damn dog, stop it.
You on that Alice's restaurant.
Yep. See, Bulldog agrees, man. You broke the code. You were eyeballing him.
Yeah, I wasn't eyeballing shit. I'm just making sure nobody's eyeballing my space.
No,
So,
you were.
I don't even know what he was wearing. Like dudes over there, like, was he wearing shorts? How the fuck would
Yeah,
I
because
know?
she was concentrating on his schlong.
I'm just making sure, you know.
Eyes went a certain direction, and they went
No,
past.
bro.
That's it. Done. You fucked up. You done fucked up.
If ever in that
Ron.
situation again and you feel like you're being violated, just start singing some random nursery rhyme.
Why? So he can find out if the guy's a chomo?
All I'm saying is watch out, man. When you go to these restrooms, watch out. You know, that's all I'm saying. There's a lot of weird people out there, and I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell people are doing, but they're breaking the code.
Everyone if you walk into a restroom and New York Outcast is there, watch out, man. He's looking.
No,
he's gonna come up to you. Hey, man, you're breaking the code.
Yeah, Mox got it correct. Next topic.
I can't believe we talked this long about this shit. That's crazy.
It's a small world after all. Oh God, Sergeant Major, you
fucking bro code, man. Broke the bro code.
The moral
that's
of the
serious,
story,
man. That's serious.
The moral of the story is don't go into the same restroom as New York Outcast. That's it. Period.
You know, but sometimes it does pay off to be short because usually
Pull over on the side of the road, use your wheel well, and don't even go into the restroom at all.
Yeah.
Just refill the bottle and throw it out the window, dude.
Do what Dumb and Dumber did, man. You know, fill that bottle up. The cop pulls you over. Here, officer.
Yeah, ladies had to use the bathroom too. They rode along with me, but in all reality, I did pass a friend a cup years ago on the Tappan Zee Bridge. We were stuck in traffic, and he had to take a piss. We were riding with two chicks at the time that, you know, we were just hanging out with. So trying to be respectful, he hopped out of the car and like turned towards the open door and was trying to piss in the cup. And then traffic started moving. And, you know, it's like several lanes. So you got all these people and other cars looking. He's like, yo. And I just let the car creep up. So he's like running next to the car sideways with his dick out, trying to piss in a cup. Dude, it was the funniest shit ever. I'll never forget it.
It's
So,
all over your car and shit.
well, I don't know. I hope not, but I kind of left him there. But we didn't. We only moved up like 2-3 car lengths, but still, it was
I
hilarious.
got him doing the
Hilarious,
shuffle down
dude.
the freeway. Oh,
So
gosh.
enough of Rob's excuses and whatever else for him looking at someone else's fucking wiener. We'll move on from that conversation. Has anyone picked anything new up lately? You got something new you're shooting? You've been doing reloading?
I went and bought X-Rings suppressor. It's still up by the FFL, but those guys are like drooling all over that thing. Everybody in the front end sells the guns and suppressors, and all the guys there in the back of the ammo manufacturer. I told them they're not allowed to shoot it unless I'm with them because I want to shoot it on my stuff because I'm holding out till January 1st. I'm too cheap to spend another $200.
No, I don't blame you. I'm waiting until, to see if they can get the amendment through and change it all. I doubt it will, but we'll see.
They want to molest, your product. I would demand a goddamn discount for used stuff.
I bought it.
Hang on.
They shouldn't be playing
Hang
with the
on.
goddamn thing.
These
Coming
guys
from
take care of me.
someone,
Trust me.
coming from someone that walks into another restroom and looks at someone else's wiener, and you're talking about molestation. I think you might want to take. You might
I
want to
was
take.
worried about somebody else looking at my way. I didn't go next to
You
this
would have been over at
dude.
them.
This dude came next to me.
Rob. Give it a rest because I've already refrained for the last 5 minutes from calling you Wiener King. Okay? Don't make me do that. I don't want to do that.
All right. Moving on. Anyone else bought anything new lately?
I got the bullet feeder for the Dylan bullet feeder. I got that. And will you shut up? And since it's my birthday month, got me like 2,000 primers from Midway, and I still got plenty of powder. So yeah, pretty good.
Nice. Awesome, man. Awesome. I hope you have a good birthday, dude. That's awesome.
What are you going to do, Mario? Be 33, 34?
Nah, man, I'll be fucking 52. I'm fucking old as shit.
52? How many years did you do in the Army?
23.
Damn, E7, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, E7. I could have made E8, but they wanted to transfer me someplace else, and I was tired of moving. So I was like, I'm good. Peace out.
What about you, Alan? What about you, Alan? I know you've been pretty busy with work and all the rest. You been able to pick anything new up lately, or you been out shooting or anything?
I have not. I've had this bottomless pit that I've been putting money into, more so for my own shits and giggles. But in all actuality, it's really sad to say that I haven't even spent a minute in front of any of the loaders either. This past week, it's just been this week has been a shit show.
Well, it sucks when you're dependable. Is what it is, brother.
Yeah, no, I had the pleasure of going and seeing Alan's work and seeing who he works with and talking to some folks out there. And Alan is well respected. I'll say that he's well respected by the people out there.
Yeah,
And
man.
I haven't been shooting much
Things have,
lately.
things have been picking up quite a bit for me at work, and in between that and other things that I don't mention much, medical stuff, whatnot. It's just been one hell of a week.
Well, brother, just take it easy, man, because we ain't getting any fucking younger, and the older you get, the harder it's for you to heal. So you gotta take care of yourself now, man.
Yep, that's the truth, man. It's just take your time, day by day, dude. I haven't got up and shot this week, but I did shoot last week. And
Hey, I was gonna ask you guys something. What do you guys think of the Springfield TRP operator?
I
so
honestly don't know a damn thing about it.
Springfield makes a good 1911. I wouldn't be opposed to picking one up. The TRP, I've heard nothing but good things on. Personally, I haven't shot one yet, but yeah, it's got nothing but good reviews all over.
That's good stuff. Hey, look at that. Bulldog makes fishing sinkers for veterans. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Good stuff, brother. And where's he at? Isn't he in Louisiana? Like there's like good fishing over there, man.
Yeah, he's in
Crazy good
Louisiana.
fish. Crazy good fishing there. You catch some crazy ass stuff in those little lakes and streams, and then if you go out to the Gulf of America, you definitely get some shit there.
I have one Springfield 1911, and it's a shooter, man. It's good. So
That's good to know because my wife's like, your birthday's coming up. What do you want? And I'm like, okay.
yeah, I wouldn't hesitate. I've seen lots of good reviews on the TRP. Like I said, I haven't got to shoot one, but I do have one Springfield 1911, and it's a shooter. It's good. The only thing I'm going to change on it's the grips because the grips are too small. But you know me, my fucking hands are.
Yeah, you got big ass hands from fucking Bigfoot and shit.
Yeah, so I got to change the grips up. Other than that, I like it. It's a shooter. All right, we'll start going through the room here. We're getting to that time. So, Rob, what you got going on, dude?
Not much. More of the same old, same old. So work and play. So obviously, thanks for joining us, folks, and don't break the bro code in the bathrooms. And eat a salad, and we'll catch you next time.
Coming from the guy that broke the bro code. Okay, yeah. Again, folks, watch yourselves. Don't walk into the same bathroom as New York Outcast. Battle Beam, what you got, brother?
Nothing much, just working and just keeping busy, man. Actually, next Thursday I turn 52, so next weekend I'm gonna have the kids over and spend time. I have my little grandkids. That'll be great. Looking forward to seeing them. So other than that, man, just chilling and just seeing what else I want to do this upcoming week since it's my birthday. But yeah, man, just I'm blessed, dude. I'm blessed that I'm doing okay. I do have my bad days and my good days, but just trying to stay positive and I always reach out to the people that always are there for me, including yourself, man. So thank you guys all for your support. I always appreciate everybody out there. So that's all I got.
No, that's awesome, man. I hope you have a good birthday this coming week. And yeah, you can reach out anytime, brother. I'm here for you, man. You need something, you just say the word, and we'll do whatever we can do. Daniel, what you got?
I got a piece of advice. If you ever find yourself in a public restroom and the guy in the urinal stops and checks out your package, just look him square in the eye and say, "Yeah, I'm kind of proud of it too."
You got him mad. He left.
He didn't want to take the advice. Or what? Who said it? Just blow him a kiss. Have me on, guys. It's been fun.
Y'all just make sure again, don't be in the same restroom as the New York Outcast. Watch out for yourself. As we always say, stay safe and stay vigilant. With that being said, Alan, will you please take us out right, my brother?
Oh man, yeah, sure. Why not? It's been an absolutely great evening. Appreciate everybody coming in. The comments, except for Rob's piss talk, I don't quite understand. But if I had a piece of dad advice, I would insert it here, but I don't. I likely won't be turning out a video this week. I know that's very disappointing to, well, probably just my mom. Other than that, I do want to remind you to keep them magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!